Okay. Uh, who's on the Tibetan? Is that Chloe? Tusam Gom? Tusam Gom? Number 2. Yeah. Okay. You guys ready? Okay, calm down. They're so excited to sleep through my class. Okay, Tusam Gom Sum. Tusam Gom is the traditional way to do Dharma. Tu means classroom time. Okay, Shravak, Shruti, listening in Sanskrit. It means classroom hours. And a lot of people think you don't need classroom hours to do Dharma, and it's very mistaken. Okay, you need as many hours as you can do. You have to sit there, even if you're half asleep. It's even better because it's like hypnosis. And okay, so classroom hours. Buddha said you need classroom hours. The more hours you can sit in here, the better your life is going to be. And I'm, how do you say? I spent my whole life sitting in my Lama's classes, and I'm very happy, super happy, and I believe it's very fun, and I believe it's going to change your whole life. So don't be lazy about it. Just do it, okay? You don't have to be super genius, and you don't have to listen very carefully, but just be there, okay? Sam means think about it. When you go home, when I think of Sam, I think of time in my car. So it's just time. Usually I'm alone, I'm driving, and I'm just thinking about things, and that's Sam. That's typical Sam. That's about the only time I can be alone and think about things. And then Gom means formal meditation. So Tu means hear about the Dharma. Sam means think about it when you're alone or I don't know. I have a special room in my house where I do the Sam. My wife says, other people also have to poop, And I'm like, all right. She said, you've been in there for 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, that's a good place to contemplate. And then Gom is meditation. Okay, Tisam Gom Sum. Chuki Ro Nyang. Ro Nyang is the important word here. Say Ro Nyang. So Ro means taste, the taste of something. Nyang means to experience the taste of something. So he says you have to learn to experience the taste of the Dharma. Okay, and what's it mean? Dela mi tokpar jitengi tam dang song dang makso. We tend to have kolok. What's that? Backwards. We tend to enjoy the taste of things that are not going to help us. Okay, and I think the internet is the ultimate example. I think your phone is the ultimate example. Okay, and it's tasty. It's attractive. I also enjoy reading 3 different versions of today's news. And I don't know why. I also enjoy it. And if I don't get it, I feel like I'm missing something, So he says, get your taste, what do you call it? Taste enjoyment. Do it with the right things. Do your taste enjoyment. Which is a good time, Lindsay, to talk about. So during the pandemic, I got more and more into my phone. It actually happened with the last presidential election in the United States, and I was very worried about it. And I remember even sitting in Gelsay's outhouse and following the electoral vote. And, and I started to read the news on my phone. I never did it before that. I had friends who did it, and I thought they were stupid. And then I started to do it, and then it was okay. So I don't know, I kept reading. Then I started reading more and more. Then I started watching movies. Then I started watching Korea soap operas. which are really good. And then I start watching war movies. Then I start watching all kinds of bad movies, and then I got real addiction. And I was doing it late at night. Like I'll wake up at 2:00 and I can't sleep, and I say I'll go eat some food in the refrigerator and watch part of a movie. And it got worse and worse. And then I have a friend, Prescott. Will Duncan, who was a student here, and he said he has a small retreat center. I think he does 2 or 3 people come there for the weekend, and he takes away your phone at 9:00 or something, and he locks it, And then we were talking about it. He was telling me about it, and I kept thinking I would like to try it. So I started this thing called Good Night Book Club. And you promise to give up your electronics I say 10:00. When I'm here, I do 9 because I get up earlier. But I do 10:00. I put away my computer. I put away my phone. I put them in a drawer, and then at 2:00, I get up and open the drawer, and and then I realized I cannot have it in the house. So actually, Rob comes to my house. He lives near me. He picks up my computer and my phone at 10:00. He brings it back at 6:00. And when I'm at Diamond Mountain, he comes and gets it here. And if I'm traveling or something, I have to add the TV controller from the hotel room. And then he found out there's 2 in my room. And but now it's a good, I put everything away. We have a special bag. Lindsay's in charge of this project. Will you stand up? Yeah. And we have representatives around the world in this, one of the representatives. Olga Van Beek. Where's Olga? Yeah, Olga's another one. Mr. Bin is another one. So if you're in Europe or the US, you talk to, if you're in Latin America, you talk to Olga. If you're in Vietnam, you talk to Mr. Bin. If you're in, I don't know, is that it? Oh, China, you talk to Tina Liu. Pacific Rim, you talk to Sugang Shi or his wife, Xintian. And you can sign up for this. And Rosa, so I have a charity where I sell jewelry and I sell expensive things. And we give the money, we give the profit after paying our staff and taxes. We give the profit to the country where we sold the stuff. So like if we sell jewelry in China, we donate the money to a project to help save the books at Dunhuang. In Vietnam, Mr. Bin has built over 800 homes for poor people. Yeah, and so we give the money locally. So we made a fancy valise case. It has a lock on it. It has a time lock on it, and you can set the lock for 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And I always wanted to get up early. Everybody thought I got up early, but I didn't. And I just struggle to get up at 7 or 8 o'clock or something. Like I didn't get up early since my 3-year retreat. I don't think I got up early. And so now I go to bed at 10. I get up at 6, and that's how I finished Seiji's book. It's 800 pages, and I had time. I had time to focus and do my practice. So I really, really, really encourage you to join this book club. And there's a joke, Mr. Bin. It's called Good Night Book Club. Then when Lindsay's in a rush, she says, Good Night Club. And then everybody says, Nightclub? Geshe started a nightclub? I said, no, it's a good night book club. Everybody's like, I'll join. Maybe we should start a nightclub, Mr. B. Anyway, and I never slept so well in my whole life. I never slept for 8 hours in my whole life. And I sleep 8 hours, and I feel wonderful. And I meditate really good. So, oh yeah, that's what Rob gets every night. So I really encourage you to do it, and that's Ronyang. Ronyang means enjoy the taste of the Dharma. Don't kolok. Kolok means you get addicted to the taste of news or sports or, stupid things, movies. A good movie once in a while is a Dharma practice. But a good movie twice or 3 times a day is not a Dharma practice. Okay? So be sensible, it's good to relax. And I enjoy good movies. And if I'm really tired, I watch one. But I'm not addicted to it, okay? So he says you should be addicted to Dharma. And that's Ronyang, okay? But don't be addicted to news. Here it's called Jiktengi Tam. Song means talking about business, or it's good to do business. It's so, so good to make your own money and not grub off of other. Grub means you just borrow money from other people, or you're always taking money from other people. It's good to be independent financially and have your own money. But don't go crazy and do business 12, 14, 18 hours a day, okay? Because you will die. And so do a good business, work hard, enjoy, have fun, but don't let it take over your whole life, okay? And then Maksok means talking about current events. Mak means war. And sometimes we just get into reading about the war. We don't intend to help about it. We don't want to help. We're just addicted to reading about it. So he says, try to get addicted to your good night book club practice. And don't get addicted to these other things, okay? Addiction is good if it's the right thing, okay? All right, that's number 2. Don't do backwards addiction, okay? There's an English expression, ass backwards. Completely opposite, okay? Number 3, Dikchen na ningje mi gongbar, che kawa chepa la ningje or chepa ningje golo. And then he says, backwards compassion. And he says, we should have compassion for Dikchen. Dikchen means people who are doing bad things, okay? We should have compassion for them. The people who are organizing these wars, who are promoting these wars, who think that killing people and taking their property is going to give them more property, it's crazy. It's insane. So we should have compassion for those people. And we should, real compassion. Not where you just hate them, but you don't say you hate them or something like that. But you're like, wow, these people are really messed up. These people are really sad. And be compassionate for them, okay? The ones who are organizing this violence and stuff like that. Chuchirkawa Chupa. Then he says, we tend to, somebody says, oh, John Brady, and they took their group to Turkey, and Maria and Peter, and they're stuck in that hotel meditating all day. Poor guys. They should go to Paris. They did go to Paris, and they didn't take me either. Anyway, so he says, don't have compassion for the wrong people. Okay? You should not have compassion for John Brady and Peter and Maria who are stuck in retreat in Turkey. Are you doing it again this year? When? October. Don't forget to take your friends if you go to Paris. Okay. It's a wonderful retreat. But we tend to have compassion for all these poor guys at Diamond Mountain, poor cat stuck in a retreat cabin all year. you should have compassion for the other people who are not in a retreat cabin. Okay. Okay. Number 4. Chun nam dag drupa la yimi dumbar. Jitengi deki topjor la yimen ba dumba golo. Dumba means aspiration. What do you want? Okay. What do you dream about? Okay. Kolok means what? Yeah, ask backwards. Don't have wrong dreams. Okay. What's the dreams? He says you should dream about being an excellent Dharma practitioner. Do you have a regular meditation? Yes. Did you join the Good Night Book Club? Yes. Do you actually sleep all night? Yes. Do you look at the news? No. Do you meditate in the morning? Yes. Do you read your Dharma book? The best way to go to sleep is to read a Dharma book. Okay. Madhyamika. Excellent. Okay. You won't last 6 minutes. Okay. We tell people, lock up your electronics, get one of those books, and try to read 2 pages. And you're going, oh, you'll be completely asleep, okay? So dream about all the cool practices. By the way, nobody's perfect. Your practice collapses every 6 months, okay? If your practice doesn't collapse every 6 months, it means you're not practicing. Okay. The only way to not have your practice collapse every 6 months is don't practice at all. Okay? So if you have your practice collapse every 6 months, you should be proud of it. Why? Because you have a practice to collapse. Okay? So, once you've been doing this for a couple years, you notice a pattern. Okay? You don't go like this, okay? Learn. You go like this. Wow, 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 boom. Wow, 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 boom. Wow, 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 boom. So it's like this. It's not, Dharma doesn't go like that. I'm sorry, for nobody. Not for Buddha. It goes like this. And you just try to get a little higher collapse. We should write a book, Maria, The Higher Collapse. Go like that, okay? Don't dream about money and position. And the best way to ruin your Dharma practice is to dream about being a famous Dharma practitioner. Then you really ruin your Dharma practice. Okay. So like that. Okay, number 5. Rangda retu chawa dak chima pembe chula minjowar. Songdang kamche sok chima nutsap chewashik lopa sok nyersem kolok. Nyersem kolok means, how do you say? Dunya nyera means, what are your goals? What are your ultimate goals? Okay, kolok means backwards, yeah. Say reto chawa. Reto chawa. First line here, Reto Chawa. That's the definition of taking refuge. Okay, that's the definition of taking refuge. If you know philosophy, if you did the Geshe course, Reto Chawa is the ancient word. Reto Chawa means put all your hopes in somebody. Who's going to help me? Then you put all your hopes in some person. Reto Chawa. By the way, some of the words in Tibetan some of the letters are not pronounced. Like this L here is not pronounced. The S is not pronounced. So get used to it. Reto Chawa means you put all your hopes in. Who do you put all your hopes in? Who do you put your hopes in? And it should be somebody who can manage a whole universe. Okay? There's people who can manage not a whole planet, a whole universe. People who can walk from planet to planet in a few hours. Okay? Those are the kind of people you should put your hopes in. Okay? Don't put your hopes in little powerful people. Okay? Think about the big ones. The people who walk through the universe from planet to planet and who can help billions of people at the same time. Okay, put your hope in put your hope in really amazing people. And there are people like that, okay? There are people like that. There are people close to us who have walked the planets, okay? You put your hope in those people. Don't say, oh, this guy, oh, look, his Tesla company's 12% up today. Yeah, and it's 18% up, down next week. Don't, that poor guy, I mean, it's better not to make $18 billion and lose it the next week, or 800, I don't know. Okay. If people put their hopes in you, then do something for them which is big. Okay? Don't give them some few dollars and stuff like that. Oh, look, Geshe-la's so kind. What? He gave me a used car. That's not fulfilling people's hopes. Give them some hope for future lives, next lives. Okay, I'm looking at Alex Rivas. Me and Alex have a project. He said, let's do a project, and I'm like, yeah, okay, what is it? And we decided there's too much war in the world, and one of the things we could do about it is to help children understand how bad is war. So Alex agreed to go to elementary schools in Mexico, where he lives, and he went to teachers and students, and we asked them to write a suggestion how to stop war. And we asked the people who still have a clear mind, which is under 10 years old, can we say? So we got all these answers from the mouth of babes. We call from the mouth of children. We got all these suggestions from children in Mexico of how to stop war. And the problem is, Alex sent them to me. I can't read them because they're in Spanish. So I brought them to Diamond Mountain. So look at, they're so cute. So Alex can read them to us sometime. Okay, so and they say kids have, let's find a term, but they say kids have a more clear mind. They'll say, stop doing this, and you're like, duh, that's what we should do. So if you're interested, you can sit with Alex or other guys from Guadalajara and read them together. And thank you for doing that, Alex. I think we bribed them. Didn't we bribe them? Did we bribe them? We bribed them. We gave them a little moolah. Okay. All right. Okay. Number 6. What are these 6? Kolo. Yeah, backwards stuff. Yeah. Rang shengi gewadan shengi dewala yiram mi chepar. Mi gewadan drawor. Drawor dunga chumala yiram watabu yiram kolo. What's yiram? Yirang means to celebrate another person's good deeds or something like that. It's one of the Georgia, right? Is it number 4? Yeah, celebrate other people's good stuff. Okay, and he says celebrate the good things that other people do. Like this thing where we just did a yirang. Okay, it means celebrate what people do, which is nice, and don't celebrate people mess up. Okay, and he says our tendency is to mess up, is to celebrate when other people mess up. We hear, oh, did you hear this person got a divorce, or did you hear this person had a big fight, or like that. Okay, we tend to celebrate we tend to get interested in people's failures rather than people's successes. There are politicians who fail daily, and the news is full of their news, And then the ones who do good stuff, there's no news about them, okay? So that's called backwards interest in people's failure, okay? All right. Here's a cute story in support of the 6 colloques. Okay? Nga gelong shiki rangi denda shikla pamba chungwa kone irang chepa geshi potoe sembe pamba chungwa tewe kyang irang chepa de dik chewa chungwa sumba shino. There was a great Geshe named Potoa in the time of the Kadampas, about 900 years ago. And this Geshe heard that someone was celebrating. And he asked him, what is he celebrating? And he said, I heard that this other monk, who I don't like, did a pamba. Pamba is one of the 4 most serious breaking your vows, like murdering somebody. And then you lose your vows immediately. So he heard his enemy committed a pamba. His enemy committed a bad deed that would make him lose his monk's vows in a second, And he was so happy because the guy was his enemy. Then this Geshe, Kadamba Geshe, he heard about it. And he said, you just committed a pamba worse than the other guy's pamba. Got it? Being happy that someone else failed in their vows is worse than the guy who failed. Got it? Okay. Celebrating that someone else failed is worse than, failing itself. Okay. And I think we tend to do that with people we don't like. When we hear that they had some trouble or they failed or, some guy you don't like in business, then they go bankrupt, and then you're like, you're trying not to smile, right? Or somebody at work that you're jealous of, and then they fail. They get yelled at by the boss, and you're like, oh, I'm so sad. It's too bad. So there's this kind of backwards rejoicing that other people failed. And he says the karma of that kind of enjoyment is worse than the failure. Okay? Your karma is worse than the other guy's karma. Lama chetupa sokit se ngenjung busu kene ning kashe dim chakpe gejo meche niche guche la bekyang kapshigne tang chede gejo na mijukpe. If you want to learn colloquial Tibetan, which is there's about 3 or 4 different levels of Tibetan language. It has an honorific form, it has a high honorific form, it has an epistolary form for writing letters, it has public forms, it has dharma forms, it has colloquial forms. If you want to learn to speak to someone in everyday Tibetan, this book is the best in the world, okay? And there's no book like it. Colloquial Tibetan, Tibetan spoken between friends has no spelling, okay? Because nobody writes it. But in this book, they do. So, if you have an AI project, we have an AI project I'll tell you about, you can teach it to colloquial Tibetan, good colloquial Tibetan. So this book is unusual, very highly unusual. So I want to teach you a word, okay? Say ngenjung pusu. Ngenjung pusu. It's in the first line here. Ngenjung pusu. Okay. Ngenjung means what? Renunciation. Okay. I broke up with my girlfriend. Now I'm just gonna do retreat the rest of my life. Like that. This dharma, what do you call it? Temporary dharma feeling. You know, my friend died of cancer. Now I'm going to get serious. You know, that's called ngenjung pusu. Pusu means goosebump. When you get cold, like if you have the bad luck to sit in front of the air conditioner here, right, you guys? She got a jacket on. By the way, we designed it wrong. I'm sorry. If you can do it better, you're welcome. But the people in the middle are hot and the people in the side are cold. So the goosebump when you get cold, it's a famous colloquial Tibetan expression for short-term renunciation. You know, someone close to you dies of cancer. Then you meditate really hard for 3 days. And then you're like, God, this is too hard, you know. And the sadness wears off. It means the sadness wears off, okay? And then you get used to life again. You know, somebody commits suicide yesterday. Then for 2 days you feel very religious, and then it wears off. Okay, that's called pusu. Pusu means the bump comes up when you're cold and it goes back down fast, right? So if you want to make a joke to a Tibetan, you can say, how's your ngenjung pusu? It means your 5-minute renunciation, okay? It's kind of an insult, okay? You might not want to use it. Yin kashe jim chak. Jim means you focus. You focus really hard on your practice. Chak means, what's chakpo, you guys know? It means fierce deity. But with renunciation, it means you work really hard for like 2 days. And then you just get back to normal. Okay, so Jim Chak means you over-focus. Gejor, then Tim is hard to read. You gotta say, listen, Gejor, Nije, Guje. Gejor, Nije, Guje. Okay, so you gotta read Nije, Guje together. Nije, Guje means every which way. Okay, you try a million things. Gu means 9 in Tibetan, but in English we say somebody close to you dies of cancer, then for 1 week you're doing like 1 million meditations. And then you get over it and you forget meditation. Okay, so Mije Guje means you pull out like a million different kind of practices. And then the person's gone for a week and you start to forget about them, and then you get back to normal. Okay, so Mije Guje means you get real, what do you call it? Yeah, you get all fired up. You know, Guje means you do everything. You try everything. And then it wears off, you know. Even with your mother or something, when your mother passes, you have Mije Guje for like 6 months. And then even that wears off. Okay, so Mije Guje la be kyang kap shikne tang che. What's tang che? Anybody? Tang che? Tang che means you get tired. Tang che means this Dharma stuff. I'm going back to Netflix. You know, tang che. If you're gonna learn to speak Tibetan, tang che is a very, che means to cut, like Dorje Chupa, Diamond Cutter Sutra, and tang means your power. Tang che means, man, I kicked ass for 6 months, that's probably enough. And then you get tired, tang che. And then you go back to watching movies and stuff like that, okay? Tang che che la, tang che de, Gejor la mi juk means you give up your Dharma practice, okay? That's enough, okay? Temporary renunciation. When someone close to you dies, use the time, use the chance, because it will wear off. It will wear off, okay? So when someone close to you leaves this world, use it, use the time, because it will wear off. You won't remember them 6 months from now, so. Okay. All right. Next picture, you guys. Tune it like a guitar. I'm going to read the the Tibetan here. Deta renjok mi chawa. Renjok is another colloquialism. So this book is full of, you could write an AI dictionary of colloquial Tibetan from this book, and it would be very interesting. Renjok means hot and cold. You know, you work hard, then you quit for 6 months, and then you work hard, and then you quit. Okay, Renjok means you flip-flop. Okay, Renjok mi chawa, gomba rinchen lame. Then he quotes a Lama who lived about 500 years ago. He said, Mik gyang sing yi gya ke kong sang hlus sumba. Okay, and this is practice advice. Everyday practice advice. Mik gyang sing. Gyang means distance. Sing means long. And he says, keep your focus far ahead. Okay, like on your old age and your death. Okay, me and my wife are at this point where we discuss buying stuff that probably we won't live to see it finished. You see what I mean? We're like, buy something that's gonna last 20 years, and we're like, I don't know. Mik gyang sing means look ahead. You know, don't be stupid. Look ahead. Keep your eyes ahead. Look at what's coming. Okay, in your life, you will get old. You will lose your energy. You will die. So keep your eyes ahead. Don't get all hypnotized by your last bonus or something. It's not going to last. Okay, keep your eyes far ahead. Mik gyang sing. Yigya ke means think big. Think big. You know, I'm going to walk the planets. You know, I'm going to help 1 billion people. Okay, to think big. Don't think about stopping the war in Ukraine or Gaza. Let's stop war on 1 billion planets. You know, think big. If you cover 1 billion planets, you also cover Gaza. Okay, seriously. Okay. So yigya ke means think big. Think big. Kong sang hle is the important one here. Say kong sang hle. This SR is just S. LH is HL. And that means the picture of the guitar. Yeah, and this is a very common Lam Rim example, is tuning a guitar. And don't make it too tight and don't make it too loose. It means don't make your practice too tight and don't let your practice get too loose. If you're too tight and you're always nervous about your practice, you practice to the point where your hands are shaking, it's too tight. You're gonna mess up. The string is gonna break. Okay? Don't tune your practice too tight. Okay? Then you're gonna be uptight and you won't be able to meditate well. So don't go crazy. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Just don't go crazy and try to meditate 12 hours a day. It's not going to last. Okay. What's a meditation teacher's advice with a new meditator? Start with 10 minutes. Please, please, please start with 10 minutes. No, Geshe, I can do 2 hours. No, you can't. I can stay still for 2 hours. So can a rabbit. You know, that was my teacher's answer. Yeah, they don't meditate. They just sit there, you know. So, okay, so tune your practice. Also not too loose. Okay, tomorrow, I'll meditate tomorrow. You know, today I'm really busy. Shut up, sit down. You know, you're not that busy. Don't get into this Dharma organizer trap, you know. Oh, I'm so busy organizing meditation classes, I don't have time to meditate. You know, that's what yoga teachers do. Once you become a yoga teacher, you're in trouble. Because then you're like, I have to have a school. I have to organize the classes. I don't have time to do yoga, okay? So don't get into this not tight enough, too loose. Tune the guitar to the right sound, okay? Practice. Don't be all like nervous and don't get lazy either. Keep the tuning correct. It's a very beautiful metaphor for your meditation practice. Don't over-meditate and don't under-meditate. Okay. All right, so there's the very, very colloquial expression. Tongue means too tight, hle means too loose, remba means just right. Okay, remba. And you won't see that word anywhere, Tim, for example. It means just to the right, what do you call it? Tension. Tension. It's like a guitar. Enough tension, but not too much tension. Okay? Remba chene, nyuk sing te. I don't know what's nyuk sing. I gotta look it up. Okay, sorry. Sing means, I think it means be there for the long run. Be there for the long run. Don't get too tight, don't get too lazy. Keep it going for a long run. Nyuk sing. Now, beautiful, because the author of this Lam Rim, the speaker of this Lam Rim, is one of the most amazing Diamond Way practitioners in history. Okay, so this is not a basic elementary text. This is a secret Diamond Way explosion manual, and people don't know that, but Pabongku Rinpoche was maybe the greatest Vajrayogini practitioner of all time. His commentary on Vajrayogini is used in our Diamond Way courses, 18 courses. The Diamond Way course at Diamond Mountain, started at Diamond Mountain, is the best in the world that ever existed. Okay, and you will never see a course like that. We took the best of the best of the best for the last 2,000 years, and we made a course out of it, and it's amazing. So anyway, Dangwe Nyalgjor, he's referring to Vajrayogini practice secretly, which is how you should refer to it. What is Dangwe Nyalgjor? Nyal dan 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 ditsi nyang. Seme lama dakla ke doa dabe najadan. Bao bao and jingilab. What does Vajrayogini practice start with? Nyao. Sleep. I like any practice that starts with sleep. I'm on board. Okay, the first of the Vajrayogini secret yogas is go to bed. I like it. It means go to bed with a special motivation and go to bed with special thoughts. And then the second of the great yogas of Vajrayogini practice is dung, which is how do you wake up? How do you wake up as her? How do you get out of bed? Got it? Okay, you don't just jump out of bed. You do it slow and remember who you are, okay? And you always put the correct foot out first. You don't jump out. Okay, Dangwe Nyalgjor means the yoga of waking, okay? So it's so beautiful. In the middle of a Lam Rim, he's at the end of the Lam Rim. Dangwe Nyalgjor ne sungte, starting with your wake-up routine, okay, with your tantric wake-up routine, starting with your wake-up routine, rang ki rang na dik sune, get yourself ready for the day, okay? In Vajrayogini practice, it's a whole getting your vision of yourself ready for the day. God is getting out of bed. God is making coffee. God is getting ready for work. I mean, if you put it in Christian terms, it's something like that. It's radical and it's beautiful, okay? So start Rangi Ranga Diksa, get yourself set for the day. Are you divine? Not really, I'm still sleepy. Okay, take a few minutes, get it together. Don't get out of bed until you're divine, okay? It's a beautiful idea, okay? Chine ge satang. Start basic, okay? Get your, step out with your left foot, get your hair right, and then start adding stuff. Ge satang means start adding stuff, okay? When you drink your coffee, serve it to 1 billion angels sitting in your heart, Okay. Then start getting more, what do you call it? Yeah, like Geshe tongue means, that's the gay in Sangye. Send it to the ends of the universe. Okay. By the time you have your cereal, I'm getting hungry. By the time you have your cereal, your practice should be totally divine. Okay. Then when you go to work, no problem. Vajrayogini is going to work. Okay. All right. Diksa che. De sacha che te. Sacha che, again, extremely colloquial. And sacha che means your practice will advance in leaps and bounds. So sacha means you can cover 1,000,000 miles in 10 minutes. Sacha means like a jet airplane covering the miles, as opposed to a horse. Okay? If your wake-up motivation is divine, then sacha che, before noon you've covered 1,000,000,000 miles. Okay? Your practice has gone 1,000,000,000 miles before noon. Okay? If you wake up with the right vision of yourself. Okay? And that's Tantra. That's Diamond Way. Okay? Sacha che means you can cover major ground before noon. Okay? Sacha che. Then he says, Shiktan jiwe petar yinsung. Apparently there's some story in Tibetan about the race between the lice and the flea. The bedbug and the flea. Fleas jump, bedbugs crawl. If you don't know about it, go to India to study. That was gross. I mean, my early years in India, when they sleep in the beds, we had wooden macrame beds, string beds, no mattress, wooden frame, and the bed bugs live in them. And then they come out and suck your blood at night. And they start out really small and they get filled up with your blood. And then they're all full and they hang on to the wall. And they're like, And then when you wake up, there's all these bed bugs on the wall. Big red balloons, Like if you hit one by accident, blood goes down the wall. Anyway, bed bugs move slow. Fleas move fast. So don't pet a dog in India either, because they jump on you. Okay, got it? It means be like the flea and don't be like the bed bug. Okay? Make progress. Make major progress every day. Be a jet engine and don't be a horse. Okay? Be like the flea that can jump 0.5 meter or something. And don't be like a bed bug that has to crawl around and wait for night to suck. Okay? Like, make progress while you can, and Tantra is the best way. Diamond Way is the best way. When you wake up like Vajrayogini and you do 2 hours Vajrayogini in the morning, and the rest of the day you have a breakdown, you're making fast progress. Okay? Okay? It's better than just some dull, long Dharma day. Got it? Okay? That's Diamond Way practice. All right. Next picture. That's my wife's surgeon. And that's her new knee. And it's titanium. I always knew my wife was titanium. I was there, unfortunately, and her knee got worse and worse and worse. She's an athlete. She's a runner. She's the fastest runner at her school. She beat all the boys. That's why I didn't go to her school. Then she wore out the cartilage, and they had to replace her knee. And I was there. Me and Stanley Nelson were there. And they put you outside, and they say, okay, I get to hold her hand until they put the drugs. And then they say, okay, now you can go outside. And then I hear this, and I'm like, oh my God. And they're cutting her bone off. We're cutting the edge of the bone off. And then they drill a hole. And then they're like, get a hammer and they slam the knee in, and you can hear this bam, bam, and I'm like, oh. And the surgeon, this is the assistant surgeon. The surgeon was Christian, very strong Christian. And we liked him a lot. We interviewed many surgeons, and we said, what's your experience? He said, I had 10 years doing knees in Uganda or something as a volunteer for free. He did 2,000 knees in Africa for 10 years. We're like, we want you. And so he came out and he said, okay, we're ready to start. And he said, do you mind if we do a prayer? And I'm like, and then he did a prayer, and then it was so beautiful. And then he said, you go. And then he showed. And he didn't hesitate. He didn't sit around and go, ooh. He's just like, shang, and cut her leg open. And that's what it's talking about here. Okay? So it's, what do you call it? Don't F around. Like, be decisive in your practice, okay? Like, when you start with the circular saw. Don't go like, oh, when you jump into your practice, jump. And don't hesitate and don't be wimpy, Like, when it's time to cut. And be like, short, be decisive and cut. Dulce Sujjanwa means cut through your indecision. Don't be wimpy. Don't say, I think I want to meditate, but I'm not sure. Like, shut up and sit down. Who are you talking to? Yourself. Shut up and sit down. We're going to meditate. And don't hesitate. Lojong la, lo lingi gyawa. Throw your heart into Lojong. Don't hold back. If you're gonna do this, do it 100%. Okay? Don't say, maybe I want to meditate, and maybe I don't want to meditate, then shut up and don't meditate and go away. Okay? Like, you're gonna die. You don't have much time. Stop pooping around. Go for it. Okay? Lojong la, lo lingi is another very, very, very beautiful colloquial expression. It means give it 100%. Give it 100%. Don't mess around. Okay. Lingi gyalwa, sungkyan, membe chaktarwana, tsadam papa, ting chipa nyam du chipa. So in the ancient medical system of Tibet, Tibet's unusual because geographically it's halfway between Chinese traditional medicine, CTM, and Ayurvedic medicine in India. So geographically, it's between the two places. And the medical system of Tibet is very, very amazing because they took the best from India and they took the best from central China. So Tibetan medicine is unbelievable. And I translated for a couple of years for two of the greatest doctors. And it's amazing. Okay, so they have a system of moxibustion. You do acupuncture with a golden needle. It's called sercup. And then you put cotton on the golden needle and you light it. It was really fun being a translator because I saw these old, rich New York ladies going, so anyway, you have to be decisive. When you're doing acupuncture or when you're doing work with people's bodies, you can't be indecisive. You have to move with confidence. Okay, you have to say, okay, I might mess this up, but here we go, and then do it with chutzpah. Yeah, like I can do this, and then don't be like, oh, maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. Okay, so ting che means cut to the bone in the first slice. Don't mess around. Okay, ting chupa chepa shin. Lojong don rangi gyu doru tukpa che. Doru tukpa means let the bone and the stone meet. And it's a very, very colloquial Tibetan. And it means kick ass. Okay, let the bone and the stone meet. Okay, kick ass. Don't mess around. Okay, go for it. Doru tuk. Say doru tuk. Do means stone, like dorje means diamond, right? Ru means bone. Tuk means let them. It's like let them smash into each other. You know, let the stone crash into the bone. It means throw your heart into it. You know, go for it. Don't hold back. Go for it. Okay, with your practice. Okay, don't hold back. Tim, how's my time? 15 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to take questions in the second session because we got to cover some ground. Satchupa. We got to, make progress. Deyang Lojong la tokchuki che gom che shindu ta chupa jang. Say che gom. So here it is. If you learn the three kinds of meditation, what are they? Shargom, Chegom, Jogom. Okay? Shargom means list meditation. Go through a list. You know, what are the 7 preliminaries, for example? And review them in your mind with your eyes closed. That's called Shargom. That's a good one to do before you go to work in the morning. And I have very successful business executives in Taiwan, for example, who use it every morning. They do a shargom on what they're gonna do. They walk through the day before they go to work, and they're all, when they get to work, they're all ready and they kick butt. You know, so that's called shargom. Step by step before you go. Chegom means take a question, put it at the center of your mind, and work it out. It's a problem-solving meditation. Jogom, focus on one picture, like a lama's face or Vajrayogini's face, or put a face in front of you and hold it, and sink into it. That's called Jogom. He says here, Chegom, do a problem-solving meditation about meditation. What's that mean? Decide. You know, ask yourself in the morning, do you really want to spend this much time meditating? Why? Like, interrogate yourself. Chegom here means interrogate your own heart. You know, are you going to meditate? Yes. Why? Well, I don't know. Geshe said to. Not good enough. You know, give me some reasons. You know, give me some good reasons why you're going to meditate. Debate yourself before you start your meditation. Why are you spending this time? And then make sure you have good answers before you start meditating. Okay? Don't meditate because it's a habit, or your teacher said you should do it, or your friends are doing it, or something like that. Debate yourself. Why should I spend this hour meditating? You know, well, I'm gonna die, right? That's good. You're on the right track. Okay, got it? Okay, Chegong. Nyomon Kang She Chewe Nyembo Ten. This is a very nice advice. By the way, this Lam Rim is the greatest book of advices ever. I was having lunch with my wife's mother and her short-lived boyfriend. She was already 80-something. And we were talking about what's the greatest book ever written. You know, she's, of course, Bible. Mom is Bible. But I'm like, no, it's this Lam Rim. It's liberation in the palm of your hands. Anyway, it says, Nyomon Kang She Chewe, when you're deciding what to meditate on, do a review of your negative emotions and pick the worst one. Okay, review your life, review your personal psychology, identify your greatest weakness, and go for it. Okay, so She Chewa, again, Tim, if you're interested, very colloquial. She Chewa means what's the worst one? Okay, which is the fattest one? Go for that. What's your worst negativity? Go for that first. Okay. Nyambo 10 means apply the antidote. Okay, next picture, binoculars, Francisco. Yeah. Samjanki Denranki Drib Urshing. It is completely appropriate that you should spend your hours of your short life serving other people. That's the best thing you can do. Okay? What's the best way to spend the extremely short hours of your life is help other people. Spend as many hours as you can helping other people. Upa here means it's worth it. That's the best way to use your time. You don't have many minutes in this life. The more you can give to other people, the better. Okay? Good job. Upa. Okay, up. Jupa Kelang Simbe. Once you've agreed to help other people, De Jupana Shen Sulang Yumiche. Okay, do you want to live the Bodhisattva's way of life? Yes. Do you promise to try to be a Bodhisattva? Yes. Do you understand it's serving other people? Yes. Are you willing to serve other people almost all day except for snacks? Yes. Then shut up and don't expect any thanks from anybody. Okay, Yumiche means don't expect anybody to thank you. Okay? Don't help people and then stand around like, do you want to thank me or anything? And they're like, no. Okay? As a bodhisattva, get used to it. Okay? You kick ass, you help other people, give them all your money, give them all your time, and then they're like, could you help me for one more hour? And you're like, I just gave you 6 months of my time. And they're like, yeah, but I have one more thing I need. And then don't expect people to thank you, okay? If you're looking for thanks, you're in the wrong business, okay? Bodhisattva business is thank less business, okay? No one's gonna thank you, okay? You're gonna do some charitable work in a Mexico school, and, you're gonna spend day after day, and you're gonna spend all your money, and you're not gonna sleep, and you're gonna overwork for other people, and if you're in the Bodhisattva business, forget getting thanks from people. If you're a good Bodhisattva, you not only won't get thanks, you'll get criticism all day. Okay? And tell them, fuck off. Okay? All right? Okay? I'm serious. Okay? They're going to say, oh, Geshe didn't hear. I say, I don't care. I'll serve you too. Okay? Someone criticizes you, like, someone take all your money and criticize you, like, do you need anything? Your reaction to these people should be to serve them, okay, and to help them. That's a real bodhisattva. If you're expecting people to thank you, if you think you're going to get praised, just forget it. That's not the business we're in, okay? That's not the business we're in, okay? The Buddhas will praise you, and the Buddhas will thank you. That should be enough, okay? You're not going to get, you could get really serious criticism from people. And I think as a serious bodhisattva, you got to get used to it. And you can't be scared and you can't be wimpy. You can't collapse every time someone criticizes you as a bodhisattva. You just got to say, thank you for your opinion. We're going to put you on hold even though your call's important to us. And then just go away, Let them stand there criticizing you and you're already in the next state, And, okay? Just relax. You got to learn to relax as a bodhisattva. Okay. Mangbu usu shengi ma abala soba mi choa so kongno mindom. Mangbu usu means in public, online probably. Shengi ma apa, people will criticize you. They will troll you? Troll? They will troll. Do you say that way? Do you say troll? Trolls will troll you. People will criticize you. By the way, they just want attention, okay? Because they can't do anything themselves. So it's easier to criticize the people who are doing something. So just laugh, It's, okay, thank you for your opinion. Your troll is important to us. We'll be getting back to you soon. And then turn it off and never write them back, okay? Don't waste your time with those people, okay? Don't waste your time. Don't even waste the time to think about them. I have this special Buddhist practice of forgetting the names of people who criticize me. And I'm successful. I swear I can't remember any of their names, okay? Because I don't think about them, okay? So just relax. Helping people, business, you're going to get criticized. And, what are you going to do, quit? So just, okay, thank you. Your opinion is important to me. Don't get irritated. Konglong means that don't get pissed off. Okay, don't take it seriously. Okay. By the way, all the people who criticize me are gone. I don't even know where they are. They died. They're somewhere. Okay, and they're just gone. Okay, and if you live long enough, all the people who gave you trouble will be dead. And, just keep going, okay? What else are you going to do? Are you going to give up? Are you going to go back to Netflix? What else are you going to do? Okay. All right. Ken Chamo Re Gacho Ducho Chike Namka Yut Samba Mija. Here's a picture of storm clouds. This is weather in certain parts of the country, not here. Here it's sunny and nice all year. But there are places like Japan during Sakura when you pay 4 times the normal hotel rent to take your whole family there to watch the cherry blossoms open. And they decide to wait 2 weeks. And you go home. And on the way to the airport, they're just opening. Right? Tell me that's what happened this year. Mr. Arikawa was like, I never saw this happen, Geshe, I promise. I'm sorry, thanks. Anyway, the weather change, don't be like the weather, okay? Don't be like be steady. Don't be like raining 1 minute and sunny the next minute, okay? Lojong, Dharma practitioner, you gotta be steady. You can't be like this Kyoto weather and Sakura. You just, by the way, I'm not complaining. I'd still rather be in Kyoto. Okay, but don't be steady, okay? Don't let little problems in your life, especially criticism. Listen to it if it makes any sense. But since it doesn't, just let it go, okay? All right. Pentapala lekso tamso rewa chembe dunduminyawate dedani labjao. When you help somebody, say lekso. Lekso. Siddha. That's the Sanskrit, okay? That's the famous line in the Heart Sutra. It's the only line spoken by Buddha himself. Buddha uses 2 students like puppets and has them have a conversation with each other. That's the whole Heart Sutra. And when they finish giving this brilliant teaching, which is just him, he says, oh, so good. Okay, it's actually him talking, right? So lekso. So lekso in colloquial Tibetan became a word that means good job. Good job. So in the Heart Sutra, Lord Buddha says, good job, good job, to the two guys whose mouth he controls. Okay? And he says, Rewa means don't hope that people are going to come up to you and say, oh, Lekso Ina, thank you so much. You did such a good job on the Good Night Book Club, Lindsay. You're so wonderful. Thank you so much. It's not going to happen. Okay? So don't sit around waiting for Lekso. Okay? Don't sit around with it waiting for Lekso. In one way, it's a lonely business. Dharma business is a lonely business. People are not going to, come up to you and say how wonderful you are. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, right? If you're a surgeon and you can save a life, what do you care if they ever see you afterwards? You saved a life. Okay. All right. Deda chena se nyingma so nyimanga doa yang kengen chanchuki landgyur wan nyushing. Then he starts on a subject called turning problems into opportunities. And I was studying all the Lojongs of history. There's about 100 major Lojongs. And I just spent a couple months studying all of them. And I was trying to define what makes a Lojong a Lojong. And one of the things you have to say is that the theme of turning problems into opportunities is through all the Lojong. All the Lojong texts, all the Lamrim texts, they have this one theme that when a problem happens in your life, you should turn it around and make a profit out of it, okay? And as a business person, and we did make the largest diamond jewelry company in the world. Warren Buffett bought it in 2009. This skill of taking a problem and turning it into an opportunity is really, really cool. It's really, really useful, okay? So it is a Lamrim basic skill, how to take crap and turn it into gold, how to take a business problem and make it into something really fun and really amazing. That skill, if you learn that Lamrim skill, it will serve you for the rest of your life, okay? And personal problems too, when you're having personal problems with another person, if you learn to transform those into opportunities, then every kind of crap that comes your way becomes beautiful. So the beautiful stuff is already beautiful. If the crap becomes beautiful, everything's beautiful. Got it? So if you have these magic fingers who can take a problem and turn it into something really, and I'm not talking you take a problem and you learn to live with it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you take a problem and you learn to make a huge profit from it. That's really useful. That's really, really useful. And we're going to cover it tomorrow. Okay?